You boomers, empty nesters, you're sitting on homes that nobody wants or nobody will want. And the real truth is that many of the homes that you have, all of you guys, just not going to sell ever for the prices you think you deserve. And there goes all the equity in your home that you were going to use for retirement. These aren't just a few random listings. They're talking about a huge bulk here of America's housing wealth is just kind of locked up in properties that today's buyers see as dated, oversized and overpriced. And as millions of boomers rush to sell in the coming years, the mismatch between what sellers expect and what buyers will actually pay could trigger one of the biggest equity wipeouts we've ever seen in residential real estate. That is why you need to get this home selling process started now. If you're selling in, say, 2 years, so maybe 3 years, 1 year, whatever, you need to get it started now, earlier than you think. So if you're an empty nester, a boomer, listen to what I'm saying, and about half the way through, I'll give you an idea of how to fix this problem so it does not hurt your home sale. Let's get into it. So why are boomers stuck right now? Well, they own more real estate wealth than any other generation. Realtor.com showed that boomers own $19.3 trillion versus 4.4 for the silent or earlier seller, or the 14.1 Gen Z and 19.9 trillion for millennials. This wealth will transfer to the next generation, with 40% will be moving in the next 10 years. They say 18.9 trillion will be transferred. So who's going to buy these homes? So the fear is that 14 million homes are going on the market at the same time. That's the fear. And this large inventory could lead to a price collapse. Do you believe that? Comment below. But interesting enough, it's that most of the real estate wealth is in like Florida, a lot of in Florida, California, Arizona, and a little bit in Massachusetts. And where all these people are saying right now, I'm going to stay put and live off my home and pray the market will get better 8 to 10 years from now. Especially in, say, in Florida, Arizona, all the areas where the snowbirds go, you know, where people go from the winter, it's cold, they fly into Florida, Arizona, and get out of town. Right now, more than ever before, I've seen that owners are just dropping their prices and they're not getting traction. And realtors are not taking listings of homes that aren't priced right, especially the real deal realtors. If you get one of those non-real deal realtors, they'll take your listing. And basically, it's really gonna hurt owners of larger homes, because the millennials and Gen Zs are just looking more for like the 2,500 to 3,000 square foot homes right now. They're not building large homes anymore, right? And I think one of the biggest problems that most of these homes don't fit what buyers want. How do I know this? Well, I work exclusively with empty nesters and boomers. That's who I work with. And a lot of them are devastated that their home needs $20,000 to $30,000 just to go in the market. But think about it, these 4,000 square foot colonials with the formal dining room and wall-to-wall carpet and staircases everywhere. Back in the 80s and 90s, families had kind of lined up for those kinds of houses. But today, buyers, they just want these big open floor plans, one-level living, you know, energy efficient, smart homes, turnkey convenience, that kind of thing. So let's compare a boomer-owned home built in the late 80s, say over 4,000 square feet. Well, sellers are convinced these homes are worth top dollar. But is it? Let's look at this example. 2 colonial homes. Look at this example. There's 2 homes, one that's kept up and one that needs maintenance. It needs a little over maintenance, but it needs power washing. It's not kept up in the front, right? These 2 are a comparison. Buyers are going to take the one that's kept up, right? Because a lot of the homeowners right now, I go to their houses, they said, I can't afford to keep up my landscaping. They can't afford it because they're just living in their house or stuck there. And now we're going to say, look inside. It's kind of a disconnect. Let me show you this photo of a bathroom, for example. One is outdated. It's original versus one that has the new cabinets, the shower, the walk-in shower where you have the clear glass showers walk-in versus a tub and shower combination. I did that in my house down the shore. I took out the bathtub and I just put a walk-in shower. I spent a good amount of money fixing up my house, lived in it a little bit, and then sold it for way more money than I put into it. And say, now look at the kitchen. This kitchen photo, one kitchen has these oak cabinets with old appliances, right? So it's pretty awful, right? And then you have the white cabinets, this updated photo, and it's got the backsplash and it's the new stainless steel appliances, the granite countertops. It's beautiful. That's what people want today. And then you have wallpaper. A lot of houses still have wallpaper, kind of like this room. So look at the difference here. A dining room with wallpaper covered, everywhere and possibly throughout the whole house, and one without the wallpaper. It looks fresh. And of course, this particular picture has my paint color, Baby Fawn from Benjamin Moore. Buyers love it. See, what happens is buyers come through an outdated home and they say basically the same thing, just too much work. But my home sellers can't see it, but the buyer's thinking $150,000 of renovation before even being livable. That's the reality. So boomers, basically stuck in a trap. There's 3 parts of the trap. There's a style mismatch. The way they see things, the oak cabinets, the wallpaper, not seeing that the house needs to be painted. They just don't see it. To change out the lighting, how the difference it is. Change out the knobs, just the doorknobs. Change out the color. I use Iron Mountain on the outside. Change out your shutter color. Get rid of your awnings, like stuff that people don't even buy anymore. You can't even get them at the store. The other thing boomers are stuck with is an emotional pricing. They're pricing based on emotions about all the things and memories that they lived here. And my house is beautiful, but it's not. It might not be. Let's take a look at that. And the third thing is buyer affordability issues. Boomers just don't get it. How can they be unaffordable? I could afford a home back when I was their age. Yeah, but things are way more expensive. A lot different right now. So those are 3 things that boomers are stuck right now in, those 3 things. Let me tell you about some data. I think nobody really talks about the data. I love data. It's not just my take here. I like numbers. I like to prove things on the graphs. So check out this graph. Redfin found that nearly 1 in 3 baby boomers don't plan to ever sell their homes. That means when they do eventually list their homes, they're often sitting on decades of old layouts and finishes off of deferred maintenance, but which buyers today see as real red flags. And another big one is homeowners' tenure has nearly doubled since 2005, from about 6.5 years to 11.8 years. That's a huge sign that older homeowners are staying put longer, which means when they finally enter the market, their homes feel even more dated compared to what's being built new. Like that 11 years is big in style. I could have 2 identical homes in the same neighborhood where one seller accepted advice, spent a little on my fresh paint color I use, decluttered, stage-made rooms, do the things I tell, little low-cost fix-up. That home will sell in 2 weeks. The other seller resisted things, kept everything dated, and priced $50,000 higher. The house sat for months and it would eventually sell for $25,000 less than the first. It happens all the time. That's what the data looks in real life. You do not want to overprice your home. You do not want to sit there and do nothing, because that's what you'll get. So, Diane, why is it about to get worse? That's what we're going to talk about next. We're only at the beginning of the storm. Over the next 5 to 10 years, tens of millions of boomers they're going to be selling their home. I call it the silver tsunami. I've been talking about this for months now. Downsizing, moving closer to family, or heading into age-friendly housing, things like that. At the same time, builders are rolling out brand new homes with everything buyers want. Open layouts, smart home features, modern kitchens, energy efficient, and no surprise repair bills. So if you're a buyer, which one do you choose? Even my empty nesters who are downsizing are buying new construction and bigger houses because of all these modern amenities that they never could get. The 1995 Colonial with oak cabinets and a roof near the end of its life, or the brand new townhome with quartz counters, lower utility bills, and a warranty. Easy choice. Buyers are used to living close to other people. They're not worried about having that big sprawling yard. You can see it now. They're being brought up and living in these apartments that are around shopping and restaurants. They like that. That's what they know, they feel comfortable with. But where's the demographic shift? Well, I think it's around 2030, that 1 in 5 Americans are going to be over 65. That's where I see that tidal wave, or like I said, tsunami of inventory hitting the market at the same time. That's what I'm thinking. And when supply floods in and demand doesn't match, prices will even soften more. And that's why I tell people you need to start now, much earlier than you think, to spread out the cost of getting your home ready to sell and possibly enjoy it at the same time. And call me now to find a real deal agent in your area if you don't live in Philadelphia or in South Jersey. I can vet the agent for you. I'll stay with you over the years and help you through this process. Find somebody now to help you through the next 2 years or 1 year or 6 months. I talked to a boomer and said, well, I'm just going to wait a few years until the market gets better. But the truth is, you're not waiting for the market to get better, you're waiting for it to get worse. Possibly, right? Because when every neighbor on your block decides to sell once, your advantage disappears. And if you're a boomer, empty nester, and thinking of you're selling in 4 to 5 years, so is everyone else. This is changing in different areas. I see Philadelphia is not as big of a spike it is in Florida. So yeah, let's get started. There's much we need to do. That's why I say get your room by room review. Call me, go to realdealagent.com, we'll set up a room by room review, I'll go through your house, and then I'll find a realtor for you, okay? That's what we do. We walk through your house, get everything together, and hand you a realtor who can help you out. Wouldn't you want that? Or do you want to go going through the internet and looking for a realtor and interviewing on your own? We can do that together. Let's do it together, realdealagent.com. So what's the emotional trap I'm talking about? Well, for boomers, these houses aren't just real estate, right? It's your memory bank, your Thanksgiving dinners, your Christmas mornings, graduation parties, decades of family life. But the cold reality is the market doesn't buy your memories. Buyers are very superficial today. They want newer kitchens. They buy these kitchens. They buy these bathrooms. They buy peace of mind. Stainless steel, granite, quartz, vinyl plank floors or hardwood, chrome, not gold hardware, white trim, not cream colors, 6-panel doors, not those ugly brown doors. And the list continues. One of my agents told me of a couple who told them, hey, we have to get $600,000, that's our number. Their home hadn't been touched since 1993. The market was closer to $525. They refused, and after 6 months and 2 price cuts, they sold for under $5 because they didn't start the right price and didn't do anything. That's what I call the emotional trap. So clinging to your number usually ends up costing you even more. It never fails. So what's the brutal fix? Well, here's what you've been waiting for me to tell you. How do we fix this? Well, I've got 2 books, My Home Selling Sharks and My Model Home Mindset. This is where they come in. I wrote the Sharks book about 8-9 years ago, but of all the things I was doing for the 30, at that time, I was like 20-some years in the business, I wrote a book about it. And these ideas were timeless. It's gone through 3 different spikes in the market and downturns. And my Model Home Mindset book just brings it back to center, is having your home look like a model home. I don't mean you have to have everything updated, just making it fresher looking. All these ideas are what I teach to agents who join my Listing Shift community, where I teach agents to ditch working with buyers and have a listing-based business, as that's what sellers need and want. That's what you need. You need a person who only does listings, especially my boomers and empty nesters. You need real deal advice. You don't want lip service, because agents will think that you don't know much about internet and social media, so they'll talk crap to you, like not real deal stuff. As clients, sellers, you shouldn't take that. Learn from my channel. Let me help you find the agent who follows my principles in my books, who understands it. I want to stop you losing money and your equity in your house. So how do we do this? Step 1, price reality check. Just forget Zillow, forget what you need for retirement. The market doesn't care about it. It only cares what buyers are paying now. Zillow has never been in your home. It's just an algorithm. Stop looking at Zillow's number. It could be $100,000 or $150,000 off either way. And second, you want to adopt the model home mindset. Listen to my podcast, read my book. Builders know how to sell homes because they make them irresistible. Neutral paint, fresh flooring, updated lighting, decluttered rooms, painted garages and basements. That's a hot one. Painting garage and basements is hot. And making sure you use professional photography, and the list continues, and it's all in my book. It's the Homes Method. I have many stories like this where sellers spent $8,000 on paint and light staging, and their home sold for $40,000 more than their neighbor with the exact floor plan. That's the power of presentation. And the third thing is you need to handle the home selling sharks. Get them away. Keep them away from your house. Because in my Home Selling Sharks book, I warn about the hidden dangers that bite into your equity. Bad smells, the clutter, the inspection nightmare, deferred maintenance. Buyers will keep walking right back out of your home the second they smell a musty basement. Take a look at this photo. This is one of my clients who had a musty basement. It was awful. And that's just the before picture here. Now the after picture here, they spent the $1,200 on a French drain, dehumidifier, smell disappeared, and the home sold. Went from a wet basement to a dry basement. That's how powerful these sharks are. If you ignore them, they'll chew through your profit to pieces. I use ozone machine, on a smelly home, and I always fix the water problem. If you have a water problem, forget it, you have to do something. And step 4, don't over upgrade. Too many boomers think, well, redo the kitchen and get every dollar back. But a $50,000 kitchen remodel rarely pays for itself when you sell. Instead, focus on the return on investment. Your paint, the flooring, the landscaping, and lighting. These little low-cost upgrades pack the biggest punch for least cost. Maybe putting a new vanity in or something. And step 5, I believe strongly in this one. Timing is everything. Sell before the tidal wave hits. If you wait until every neighbor is listing, you'll end up in a price war. The early sellers will always make out better. Sellers who start earlier than they think, in general, always will make out better. Sellers who listen to my channel, follow my methods of preparing their home for sale, always make more money, and their home will sell faster. These are things you need to be thinking about whether you're selling in a year, 2 years, 3 years. What do most agents tell you? Or what would they not tell you? Well, it's the ugly truth, I think, that most agents are running around with buyers and do some listings. The very few agents are listing agents who are listing-based agents who have a listing-based business, who only work on listings. Their whole day is about listings. Also, most agents won't have this conversation with you. They're afraid to lose the listing, so they'll tell you what you want to hear. Sure, you'll get your price. You don't have to do anything. And then the house sits. They make excuses and they chase the market down. They know you have to lower the price. They know you have to sell. That's why there's some things you never tell agents. But a great agent will fight tooth and nail for every dollar of your equity, and they won't let you price your home too high. They'll walk away. They won't even list it. And they will have the guts to tell you the truth up front, in your face. So if your agent isn't talking about staging, doing a pre-home inspection, and having any strategies, you got the wrong agent. So what's my solution? And listen, I know many of you watching aren't in my market here in Philly or South Jersey. That's why I built something really special, therealdealagent.com, really special. No matter where you live, I'm going to connect with you, do a room by room, decide whether we want to work together, and then I'll vet you a top performing listing agent in your area, someone who knows these strategies, isn't afraid to be direct, has a system to get your home sold for the most money possible. Because the wrong agent can literally cost you 6 figures in lost equities. So, here's the bottom line, guys. The market doesn't care what you think your home is worth or how much history you have in it. What matters is how quickly you adjust to reality, because the sooner you do, the more money you'll actually keep when you sell. And if you want to know exactly how much you'll walk away with at the closing table, don't miss this next video. How much money do you keep when selling your home? It breaks down the hidden costs that can eat into your profit and shows you how to maximize what you take home.